The film opens inside a McDonald's restaurant where employees are preparing to start their shift. Their routine is suddenly shattered when Jeff storms in wearing a mask and holding a gun. Calm but threatening, he orders the staff to follow his instructions and put on their jackets. One employee doesn't have a jacket, so Jeff forces them all into the freezer. Before locking them in, he notices one of them is freezing. Jeff tells them that once he leaves, they should immediately call the police, then gives his own jacket to the cold employee. He grabs the cash from the register and escapes quickly. To understand why Jeff did this and what awaits him, we rewind 2 years into the past. It's his daughter's birthday, and Jeff shows up with a cheap gift she didn't even want. Although he once served in the military, he was discharged because of repeated problems. His friend Steve tells him that he's intelligent but constantly makes bad choices that drag him into trouble. Steve is surprised that Jeff can't even afford a proper gift for his daughter, especially since Jeff is planning to sell 2 Japanese passports the following week for $5,000. If Jeff had stayed out of trouble, Steve believes his life would have turned out much better. We learn that Jeff is divorced and has 3 children, all living with his ex-wife. He lives alone now. After saying goodbye to his daughter, Jeff stops by a McDonald's, and that's when the idea of robbery first enters his mind. Back in the present, news of the latest robbery appears on local television. It turns out Jeff has robbed multiple fast food restaurants using the same method. Despite this, he's happy at the moment because he's celebrating his daughter's 5th birthday and finally buys her the gift she truly wanted. But the happiness doesn't last. The police arrive to arrest him. Jeff tries to escape but is eventually caught. His daughter watches in shock as her father is taken away. After the investigation, Jeff is sentenced to 45 years in prison for his string of robberies and is immediately transferred to a correctional facility. He keeps a photo of himself with his family and later calls his daughter from prison. She's upset and misses him, telling him that her mother said he will never come back. Jeff promises her he will always be there for her and asks to speak to her mother. Instead, his daughter tells him that her mother's boyfriend is helping her with homework, and the call ends. Devastated, Jeff cuts his ex-wife out of the photo and decides to stay quiet in prison, avoid trouble, and wait patiently for the right opportunity to escape. Jeff works in the prison workshop. Every week, a driver arrives to collect the finished work. One day, Jeff crawls under the truck, pretending to inspect a problem, but in reality, he's studying it carefully. He secretly cuts a wooden board as part of his escape plan. The following week, when the truck starts moving, Jeff quickly climbs underneath, secures the board, and hides on top of the vehicle. At the prison gate, guards inspect the truck with mirrors but find nothing. Jeff stays perfectly still until the driver stops to relieve himself. Jeff quietly slips away, runs into the forest, changes out of his prison clothes, reaches the road, and hitchhikes to the nearest area near his ex-wife's home. He sees his daughter riding her bicycle but notices a police car in the neighborhood. Unable to approach her, he leaves. From the street, he calls Steve and asks him to prepare fake identification and a passport for any country. Steve warns him not to contact his family, as Jeff's escape is all over the news. He tells Jeff not to call again for a month while he prepares the documents. Police patrols suddenly appear, making Jeff panic. He spots a large toy store and enters it, pretending to shop so he won't attract attention. He goes to the bathroom, climbs through the ceiling, and hides above the store. A police officer passes through without noticing him. Jeff hears the manager announce that the store will close in 5 minutes. Once the store closes, Jeff drops into the manager's office and discovers the surveillance cameras are active. He carefully memorizes their positions and avoids them. Hungry, he eats leftover food in the break room and watches the news reporting his prison escape. He realizes everyone is searching for him. Then Jeff comes up with a brilliant plan. He disables the cameras so they appear frozen during the night but restores them before morning, making it look like they're working normally. This allows him to move freely inside the store at night, take food, chocolate, and supplies without being recorded. He finds a hidden area not covered by cameras and cleans it up to sleep there during the day. At night, the store becomes his kingdom. He later finds children's surveillance devices, takes several of them, and installs audio-video recorders around the store to monitor everything. One day, Jeff overhears the store manager, Mitch, talking to an employee named Leah, who asks for fewer working hours to balance her job and family life. After she leaves, Mitch logs into his computer and Jeff secretly records the password. From then on, Jeff controls the store's work schedules, breaks, and shifts. Over time, Jeff grows bored and modifies the emergency exit so he can enter and leave freely. He tries to call Steve again, but Steve's girlfriend answers and says he's traveling and will return in December. Jeff asks her to tell Steve that his cousin called Jeff, then calls his daughter and hears her laughing and joking with her mother's boyfriend. When her mother takes the phone, Jeff stays silent. He realizes his daughter is okay without him, and this deeply hurts him. At the store, Mitch complains to an employee about missing chocolate bags. The employee insists no one is stealing. Jeff overhears this and secretly returns the stolen chocolate the same day. Later, Leah invites Mitch to a church event and suggests donating toys to children. Mitch dismisses the idea and throws the invitation away. That night, Jeff finds the invitation and decides to attend the church. He brings a large bag of toys from the store as a donation. At church, a woman welcomes him and invites him to join. Jeff hesitates. It's his first time in a large gathering since escaping, and he's afraid of being exposed, but he's moved when he sees Leah singing sincerely. The priest and his wife thank Jeff for the donation. Jeff tells them he's from the capital and works for the government in a confidential position. They joke with him and introduce him to Leah, who thanks him warmly. Jeff learns Leah is divorced and has 2 daughters. They agree to meet again. Over time, Jeff develops feelings for her. Living on sweets causes Jeff severe tooth pain, so he sells some stolen toys and uses the money to visit a dentist. Days later, Jeff joins Leah and her church friends at a restaurant. He learns more about her life, including her struggles with her teenage daughter Lizzie. Jeff grows closer to Leah and her family. He later meets Leah's daughters, gives toys to the younger one, and tries to bond with Lizzie, who initially rejects him. Gradually, trust forms. Jeff becomes part of their lives, attending church regularly. But everything collapses when Mitch unexpectedly enters the store while Jeff is showering inside. Both men panic and run. Police investigate but find nothing because the cameras weren't recording. Eventually, Jeff plans one final robbery to pay for his fake identity, which costs $50,000 due to the risk. He robs a gun store and prepares for the toy store heist during Christmas. During the robbery, Jeff injures the new guard and steals the money, but Leah unexpectedly arrives and sees him. Shocked, she runs. Jeff escapes, but the truth unravels. Later, Leah cooperates with the police to stop him. On Christmas, Jeff comes to her house with gifts, only to be arrested in an ambush. Leah watches his balloon drift into the sky as he's taken away. Jeff returns to prison for good. Years later, Leah visits him one last time. They apologize, thank each other, and part in tears. We learn that Jeff attempted escape again in 2009 and 2017, and that he won't be eligible for release until 2036. Leah has since remarried and moved on with her life,